innocence shattered, lives cut short. Behind closed doors and in plain sight, unimaginable horrors unfold. These are the chilling stories of children whose lives were stolen by the ones they should have trusted most. Brace yourself for a journey into the darkest corners of reality. This is Truth or Scare.
Sometimes, the real monsters hide in plain sight. This is the tragic story of 11-year-old Gannon Stauch. In January 2020, Gannon Stauch went missing from his home in Colorado. His stepmother, Letitia Stauch, claimed he had run away. But as the days passed, her story began to unravel. Authorities noticed inconsistencies in Letitia's statements. Evidence pointed to foul play, but nothing could prepare them for what they would find. After weeks of searching, Gannon's remains were discovered over 1,000 miles away in Florida. An autopsy revealed he had been brutally attacked, stabbed 18 times, and shot. The truth was undeniable. Letitia Stauch had murdered him. She was arrested, tried, and found guilty. Letitia now faces life in prison, but the heartbreaking loss of Gannon can never be undone. In June 2020, 6-year-old Arthur Labinjo Hughes died in Solihull, England, after enduring months of horrific abuse. His stepmother, Emma Tustin, inflicted fatal head injuries, while his father, Thomas Hughes, encouraged the cruelty. Arthur was starved, poisoned with salt, and denied affection. Disturbing footage showed him struggling to stand, repeating, "No one loves me." Tustin was sentenced to life in prison, and Hughes received 21 years. The case exposed failures in child protection services and sparked nationwide grief and outrage. Evil can lurk where we least expect it. Stay safe and hold your loved ones close.
In 2013, 8-year-old Gabriel Fernandez from Palmdale, California, was brutally tortured and killed by his mother, Pearl Fernandez, and her boyfriend, Isauro Aguirre. Despite multiple warnings to social services, Gabriel's cries for help went unanswered. Pearl was sentenced to life in prison without parole, and Aguirre received the death penalty. The case exposed severe failures in the child welfare system and was later documented in the Netflix series, The Trials of Gabriel Fernandez.
In July 2021, 5-year-old Logan Mwangi was found dead in the River Ogmore in Wales. His small body bore the signs of severe injuries, including blunt force trauma. An investigation revealed a tragic story of abuse and betrayal by those he trusted most: his mother, Angharad Williamson, stepfather, John Cole, and a teenage boy, Craig Mulligan. All were found guilty of his murder and sentenced to lengthy prison terms. Another innocent life lost to unimaginable cruelty. Stay vigilant and take care of those around you.
On August 22, 2007, 11-year-old Reese Jones was shot and killed while walking home from football practice in Liverpool, England. He was caught in the crossfire of gang violence when 16-year-old Sean Mercer, a member of the Croxteth Crew gang, fired shots at a rival gang member. One of the bullets tragically struck Reese. Mercer and several accomplices were later convicted, with Mercer receiving a life sentence. Reese's death led to a nationwide outcry against gang violence, and his story was later depicted in the TV drama Little Boy Blue.
In August 2023, 10-year-old Sarah Sharif was found dead in her home in Woking, Surrey, England. Her body showed extensive injuries, suggesting prolonged abuse. Her father, Urfan Sharif, stepmother Benash Batul, and uncle Faisal Malik fled to Pakistan with 5 other children before reporting her death to UK authorities. An international manhunt led to their return to the UK, where they were charged with murder and child cruelty. The case shocked the community, raising questions about safeguarding and the missed opportunities to protect Sarah.
On July 4th, 2020, 8-year-old Secoria Turner was shot and killed in Atlanta, Georgia. She was in a car with her mother near the Wendy's where Rayshard Brooks had been fatally shot by police weeks earlier. Armed protesters had set up an illegal roadblock, and when the car attempted to turn around, gunfire erupted, striking Secoria. 2 men, Julian Conley and Jerian McKinney, were charged in connection with her death. The tragedy highlighted the chaos and violence that had erupted in the city, leading to calls for justice and change. On April 8, 2009, 8-year-old Tori Stafford was abducted while walking home from school in Woodstock, Ontario. She was lured by Terry Lynn McClintock, who, along with her boyfriend Michael Rafferty, brutally assaulted and murdered Tori. Her remains were found months later, buried under a rock pile. Both McClintock and Rafferty were sentenced to life in prison. Years later, controversy arose when McClintock was transferred to a healing lodge, sparking outrage and renewing calls for justice reform. In September 2019, 6-year-old Zymir Perkins died in New York City after enduring prolonged abuse and neglect. His mother, Geraldine Perkins, and her boyfriend, Raysham Smith, repeatedly beat and mistreated him. On the day of his death, Zymir was struck with a broomstick, starved, and left in a squalid apartment. Smith was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison, while Perkins received a plea deal. The tragedy exposed significant failures in the city's child protective services, prompting calls for reform.
In June 2013, 8-year-old Cherish Periwinkle was abducted from a Walmart in Jacksonville, Florida by Donald Smith. He lured her family with false promises of food and shopping, only to commit a heinous act. Her body was found the next day near a creek. She had been brutally assaulted and murdered. Donald Smith, a registered sex offender, was arrested, found guilty, and sentenced to death. The case underscored the dangers of trusting strangers and led to heightened awareness of child safety. Monsters can wear a friendly face. Stay vigilant and always trust your instincts. Until next time, this is Truth or Scare.